making such a fuss? Stop it, now! Are you being enthusiastic? You are, aren't you? Do you think the British Empire became great because of enthusiasm? Of course not. Let the French and the Spanish get all red-faced and excited and shout a lot. As for the Italians, well, the less said the better. No, we English get on with the job unimaginatively and practically. And that is how we forged an empire, thank you all very much. Now, tonight's tale of uplift and moral improvement is the story of a boy who became far, far too enthusiastic. From an early age, young Winston, Lord Lawrence, was as dull and torpid as any boy born into the aristocracy should be. His mother, Lady Redgrave Lawrence, was the most idle, self-satisfied noble in all England. As young Winston grew, she carefully instructed him in all the genteel arts of indifference, lethargy, and callousness, all vital to an aristocrat's upbringing. A good example of this is dealing with one's servants. In this case, one of the gardeners, with a story about his wife being ill and not having enough money to afford the medicine that would save her life. But don't they all?
I've been your gardener my whole life, ma'am. Never put a foot wrong, never complained of me lot. Work 15 to 20 hours a day at Forster's End.
The usual communist drivel. Anyway, here was a chance for the boy to shine.
And what do you want us to do about it?
Good, Winston. Very good.
On my knees I beg you, 'tis little enough money for one so fine as yourself.
It's just too much ugliness. I must only have beauty in my life.
Go away.
You're my wife.
Hopkins.
No, oh, please help her.
Remember, Winston, for the upper classes, everything is too much trouble. The posh, my dear, are posh. And that's the end of it.
Indeed. And what a good and slothful child young Winston seemed to be. However, what no one could expect, what could never have been foreseen, was the arrival of Lady Lawrence's distant cousin. And this cousin, brace yourselves, children, was an American.
Good morning, my man. Please be so kind as to present me to your mistress.
Really? And who, should I say, is calling?
Why, I, sir, am her cousin, back from the New World and all the places in between. I, sir, am Mr. Sidney J. Hemingway, gentleman adventurer. England.
He was family, after all. Lady Lawrence was forced to rise from her afternoon nap and order the servants to prepare dinner for this prodigal American. Personally, I wouldn't have bothered. After all, they don't even know what a napkin is. They don't, do they? Regardless, the evening passed slowly, and with mild dismay, Lady Lawrence watched as this American began to unravel all her careful teaching.
I see you're admiring my hog legs. Revolvers, son. A gift from Mr. Samuel Colt himself, on account as I was the only survivor of the Battle of the Little Big Horn. But General George Custer was a damn fool. Why, I was only a little drummer boy, 6 years of age, when there I was, surrounded by redskins.
Must you speak so loudly? You, American.
I apologize, ma'am. I guess I ain't much of one for the polite ways of society. You see, I'm the sort of fella that sees life as being kind of like a wild bronco. I just gotta mount that horse and hold on to its wild neck as it tosses and turns and tries to throw me off, no matter where it goes, no matter how crazy it gets. I just gotta keep holding on till I got that bucket tamed.
What?
Well, thank you for your hospitality, cousin. I shall impose no more. Besides, there's so much for the world to see, so much to do.
Oh, you have had such an exciting life. Must you go?
I guess I just can't stay still.
Where else can you go? Mountains, jungles, battles? I mean, you've been everywhere.
Not quite everywhere, son. You see, I got me this great big mole machine. I intends to drill through the crust of this planet to the very center of the Earth itself.
Wow.
Now, you just don't forget your Uncle Sidney, son. No matter where the action is, that's where you'll find him. Ma'am?
When I grow up, I'm going to be just like Uncle Sidney. I'm going to do everything.
Hopkins. The American. Have him shot before he leaves the grounds.
Winston was becoming interested in life. The American had infected the boy with his fearless extrovert manner, his love of life and his go-getting ways. Oh, they do that, don't they? They get into everything, like wasps. We should have wiped them all out when we had the chance. The Americans, I mean. Well, wouldn't have been difficult. Certainly teach them a lesson. Wipe them all out. Ba 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 ba. But no, we all have our cross to bear. Anyway, as time passed, Lady Lawrence hoped that the memory of that bothersome man would soon pass from Winston's mind. But when one afternoon Lady Lawrence awoke for breakfast, no Hopkins. Against all laws of aristocratic decency, Lady Lawrence was forced to get out of bed before 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hopkins? Oh, where is the wretched man? Hopkins, I'm weary.
Hello, Mother. I'm Chief Sitting Bull, and I'm going to scalp this paleface.
I'm terribly sorry, madam. However, if you could render some assistance.
There was no longer any doubt. After much tedious fuss, Hopkins, well versed as a physician, ascertained the boy's condition.
I'm afraid there can be no doubt, madam. It's the most advanced case I've ever diagnosed. I'm afraid the boy is enthusiastic. There can only be one possible course of action. Lady Lawrence, if I may.
Oh, do what you want.
Young Winston must go to public school.
Of course, public school! Only public school would beat enthusiasm out of the boy. Public school, with its mindless rote learning, pointless petty bullying, and lavatory training inspection. All that energy and zest for life would be replaced by a healthy blend of spite, snobbery, and a smug sense of one's own superiority. And in terms of instilling lethargy and sloth into a noble child's life, one school stood out above all others as a shining beacon. Rug-beaten! Oh, and Winston would leave home the very next day. There's a boy. So, Winston's future was assured. Or was it? Some fire of wantonness had sparked in his brain thanks to that meddling American. For the first time in his short, privileged life, young Winston had been forced to think about what he really wanted. He had a choice, a life of tedium at Rugbeaton School or a whole world he had to explore. You would choose the school, wouldn't you, children? You'd better. Let us see which path Winston chose.
No, keep still. Don't kill Teddy. Mummy, I like big shoes.
Hey, young fella, wake up. It's me.
thought you'd been shot.
Take more than a bullet to stop Sidney J. Hemingway.
What are you doing here? What about your big mole machine?
Oh, never mind that, my boy. I got bigger fish to fry. I intends to walk to the South Pole. Get there before that Captain Scott fella.
Oh.
And I want you to come with me. What do you say?
Wizard, I'll get some warm clothes.
Never mind that, my boy. Get your boots and let's go. Time's a-wasting.
Goodbye, England. I'm going to have adventures. Adventures.
The boy had gone. Some would say it wasn't his fault, that the years of stifling stagnancy within the English class system was more than he could bear, that the American had awakened something wonderful inside the boy's soul. I would say it's because he was evil and did it out of spite. Nevertheless, it was with a palpable sense of relief that Lady Lawrence could return to her pointless, dull routine, the affected, pleading hypochondria that is the lot of the aristocracy, where everything is met with a profound but fashionable lack of enthusiasm. In fact, she remained in this pleasant state for 2 quiet months. Well, it seemed like a year. However, pleasant states are always destined to become unpleasant. That's life. In the autumn of that year, a strange package arrived at the house.
Oh, life is such a chore. All this tea, how it wearies one.
Indeed, madam.
Oh, Hopkins, what now?
It's a package, madam, from Antarctica.
Who?
The continent, madam. Shall I open it?
If you must, Hopkins.
There. It is a diary, madam. It appears to be from your son. I could read it aloud, with your permission.
Oh, very well. The last page will do.
August 1910. 300 miles from South Pole.
The American is dead. I ate the last of him this morning.
Oh, Hopkins, that's enough. I feel quite weary. All that listening. I shall take to my bed.
I shan't mention it again, madam. I know your son was enthusiastic, madam, but, you know, I can't help wondering what happened to him.
So, what have you learnt from tonight's tale, children? That's right. Enthusiasm is not only the least desirable of English traits, but it can also get you horribly killed. Take stock, calm down, and stay indoors. Good night.